Good morning. Today we are going to start with the topic kidnapping, abduction, slavery and forced labor. The sections are from section 137 to section 146. Okay. Section 137 is defining kidnapping while section 138 is defining abduction. First we will see kidnapping. Kidnapping. Kid means a child. Napping means to steal. It means what? Kidnapping literally means stealing of a child, taking away of a child or enticing away of a child. Okay. Now section 137 is stating that kidnapping is of two kinds. Kidnapping from India and kidnapping from lawful guardianship. Previously in IPC there were two different sections for that. Now under BNS we are having only one section, section 137, which deals with both kidnapping from India and also kidnapping from lawful guardianship. Okay. Now kidnapping from India and kidnapping from lawful guardianship. This is mentioned in subsection 1 and clauses are there A and B, which states that whoever conveys, convey means taking away, okay, whoever conveys any person beyond the limits of India without the consent of that person or some person legally authorized to give consent on that behalf of that person is said to kidnap that person from India. So what will be the essentials of kidnapping from India? The person first of all should be in India, okay, and without his consent he is being taken away or he is being conveyed away without his consent. Means the person is in India, he is being conveyed from India somewhere outside beyond India without his consent or without the consent of any person who is authorized to give consent on his behalf. This is called as kidnapping from India. Just simple essentials are there. One is the person should be in India, he has been conveyed beyond the limits of India, and the second essential is that he is not giving the consent or without his consent or any person's consent who is authorized to give consent on his behalf. Okay. Now this is kidnapping from India. Here the word any person it is mentioned, means here the age limit is not there. Means this offense can be committed against any person of any age. Okay. Now clause B is telling whoever takes or entices any child. We have seen the definition of child. Child means what? Either a male or a female who is below 18 years of age. Previously in IPC they were dividing like below 16 years a boy and below 18 years a girl. That was mentioned. Here now they have clearly mentioned like child, and child has been already defined. Like child is a person who is below 18 years of age. So clause B is telling about kidnapping from lawful guardianship. Who can be kidnapped from lawful guardianship? A child. Whoever takes or entices any child or any person of unsound mind. Means this offense often deals with two people, either a child or either any person who is unsound mind and of any age, or any person of unsound mind out of the keeping of lawful guardian of such child or such person who is unsound without the consent of the guardian is said to kidnap such child or person from lawful guardianship. Means kidnapping from lawful guardianship is an offense which is committed against the guardian because his consent is not being taken. A child has been kidnapped or a person of any age who is unsound mind, he has been kidnapped and they are under the custody of their lawful guardian and the consent of the lawful guardian is not taken, then this offense has been committed. We will see the essentials. Whoever takes or entices. Taking away means the person has been taken away. He's been, you can say, he has not been using much force and all, but he's been taken away. Whoever takes or entices. Now what is enticing? Enticing means some things the kidnapper has told the person. Maybe he'll marry her, or maybe he will give some job, or he will provide her or him a very good life and all, but his objectives are different, isn't it? So he is not taking that person, he is not using any kind of force against that person, but this person willfully, you can say, is coming out of the house, coming out of the control of the guardian, and without the consent of that guardian, the persons are being taken away. So taken away means here is not actually physically taken away, the person willingly goes out, but that person who is, he is a child below 18 years of age. So consent is immaterial here, consent of the guardian is essential, and a person of unsound mind is not in a position to give any kind of consent. He does not know anything what are the repercussions or what a person is doing against him. Therefore, a consent of guardian in both the cases are very essential, and here the consent are not been taken. So takes or entices away any child or a person of unsound mind without the consent of lawful guardian, then the offence is being committed. Now here in explanation they have mentioned what is lawful guardian. Include any person lawfully entrusted with the care and custody of said child or other person. Here it does not mean only the natural guardian, that is the parents. Here it also means that the child is in the custody of some other person, some other authorized person, he will be called as a lawful guardian under the law. Means his consent becomes essential while taking away. If the consent is not taken, the offence is being committed. Okay. Now section 137 is having one explanation and one exception also. This clause does not extend to the act of any person who in good faith believes himself to be the father of an illegitimate child. Means a child is illegitimate and a person believes that he is the father of that child, and therefore in good faith, this is important, in good faith he believes himself to be entitled to the custody, lawful custody of that child, and therefore he takes away, then this offence is not being committed. But the main essential is what? Lawful purpose here. Means here unlawful purpose should not be there. Means a person who believes in good faith that he is the father of that child, illegitimate child, and is taking away that child not for any unlawful purpose, then the offence is not being committed. Okay. Now here we complete subsection 1. Now subsection 2 tells about punishment. Whoever kidnaps any person from India or from lawful guardianship shall be punished with imprisonment of either description. Imprisonment extend to 7 years and fine. Here we complete kidnapping, which is of two types, that is kidnapping from lawful guardianship and kidnapping from India. Okay. Now section 138, which states definition of abduction. Whoever by force, compels or by deceitful means induces any person to go from one place to the other, from any place, is said to abduct that person. Just simple one sentence is there. Whoever force, compels or by any deceitful means induces the person, means the person is moving from one place to the other by himself, isn't it? He has been induced to move, induces that any person to go from any place, is said to abduct that person. See, here there is no punishment mentioned. Why? Because abduction is not an offence. Just abduction is not an offence. Abduction, if connected with certain other acts, means abduction with the objective of committing murder or for some unlawful purpose, then abduction becomes an offence. Otherwise abduction is not an offence. Abduction can be done, we do towards our friends also. Sometimes our friends are not agreeing for certain things to come with us. What we do? If we apply force, we compel them to come with us, or we use some enticing things, isn't it? We compel them, we use some deceitful things also, because we want that person with us to enjoy some party or so, to see some film and all. So these things have been done. Means whoever by force compels or by any deceitful means induces any person to move from one place to the other, that is called as abduction. But whatever we are doing towards our friends, that is with very much love and affection. We want that friend with us. Though it is an abduction, it is not an offence. Abduction under section 138 is not an offence. But abduction, if it is done with some intention, to commit murder or some unlawful purpose, then it becomes an offense. Got it? Here we have seen section 137 and 138. The essentials of abduction are: whoever by force compels or by deceitful means induces any person to go from one place to the other. Now we'll see little bit difference between kidnapping and lawful kidnapping and abduction, not lawful guardianship, kidnapping and abduction. Now when we see kidnapping is of two kinds. One is from lawful guardianship and one is beyond India. Okay, now it can be committed in respect of a child. Kidnapping can be committed. Here we are discussing about kidnapping from lawful guardianship. Committed in respect of a child and in respect of a person of unsound mind of any age. Means the kidnapping from lawful guardianship can take place against a child who is, that is below 18 years of age, or against an unsound mind person who is of any age, while abduction can be committed against any person. So the difference is between the age. The second is kidnapping from lawful guardianship is removal from lawful guardianship, and therefore this is an offense which has been committed against the guardian. Okay, now in abduction there is no reference of some other person. Here the reference is of that person only who has been abducted. Means in kidnapping, the kidnapper is kidnapping a child, but the offense has been committed against the lawful guardian. So reference to lawful guardian is there in the section. While in abduction, there is no such kind of third person. Here the reference, abduction has a reference only to the person abducted. Okay, next is simply taking away of a minor or a person of unsound mind. That becomes an offense. Means are not relevant here, how they are taken and all. So simply taking away of a minor or a person of unsound mind, means are not relevant here. While in abduction, what is there? Force is there, compulsion is there, deceitful means are there. These are the means which are being used. Here means are not essential in kidnapping. Just taking away is there. Okay. Now in kidnapping, the child is being kidnapped, the unsound mind person has been kidnapped, who are not in a position to give the consent. The consent is immaterial. Their consent is immaterial here. But in abduction, the person abducted, if he gives the consent, if the consent is free, voluntarily, then it is not an offense. So free and voluntary consent of the person condones abduction. Abduction is not an offense here. In kidnapping, the child has been taken away. His intention is immaterial. Intention is not seen here. Just taking away without the consent of the lawful guardian, it becomes an offense. While in abduction itself is not an offense. Therefore, if it is done with an intention to commit an offense, so intention is a very important factor. In kidnapping, intention is immaterial, while in abduction, intention is an important factor. Taking or enticing away, that is being used in kidnapping, while enticing, this is not there in abduction. Taking or enticing does not arise here. What they have used? They have used here either force or by deceitful means. Kidnapping is a substantive offense. Kidnapping takes place when the kidnapper kidnaps the child. Okay, therefore it is a substantive kind of offense. It itself is an offense. Intention not material here. But in abduction is not a substantive offense. It is punishable only if it is done with intent, which is mentioned in section 139, 140 and all. That is murder and other unlawful purposes, other unlawful objects are there. Then only it becomes an offense. Now kidnapping, I told you, it is a substantive offense. Therefore, when the person is kidnapped, it is an offense. So it is not a continuing offense. Nuisance and all, what are those? Those are continuing act. Kidnapping is not a continuing act. Kidnapping is a substantive offense and not a continuing offense. It is done, it happens when the person is kidnapped. While in abduction is a continuing offense. It continues so long as the person is moved from one place to the other. So kidnapping is a substantive offense, it is not a continuing offense, while in abduction it is not a substantive offense but it is a continuing offense. This is the difference between kidnapping and abduction. We'll see one case where the importance of enticing was mentioned. Varadarajan versus State of Madras. Okay, Savitri, who was at the verge of becoming major, she was not major. She was at the verge of completing her majority. Yet 18 years are not been completed. But she is having some affair with one person called as Varadarajan. One day what happens? Her father comes to know about the affair. Therefore he objects. This is not known by Varadarajan. But what Savitri does? Savitri leaves the father's house. Varadarajan is not telling her to do this. Without the knowledge of Varadarajan, she leaves the father's house and goes to Madras, calls to Varadarajan from there and tells him to come at a particular place. At that particular place she is waiting. Then Varadarajan comes there. Then they both move away. There is no kind of force used here and all. No kind of like, Varadarajan does not know anything. She has called him and she sits in the car. No force is being used here, and after that they get married. Afterwards, as 18 years are not been completed, Varadarajan is caught for kidnapping from lawful guardianship, and the courts have held that he is liable. But here the Supreme Court has clearly mentioned there is no enticing away. She went to that place and finding that the accused waiting in the car got into that car of her own accord. There was no evidence that any force or inducement was used. On the contrary, it appeared that insistence of marriage came from her side. So, like, she is insisting to marry. Therefore, there is no enticing away. Whenever the offense is being, like, we have to prove the offense, all the essentials of the offense of that particular section must be proved. Therefore, here in Varadarajan's case, Supreme Court has clearly mentioned that here Varadarajan is not liable for kidnapping from lawful guardianship because there is no enticing away. Okay, here we have seen two sections, 137 and 138. Further sections we'll see in another video. Okay, bye bye. See you.